plenty. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, my voice today tells you how much work we put into hosting this program. Your Excellency, in your honor, all protocols observed, today is an important moment, and I want to let you know that you are the first serving Ghanaian president to come to this campus, and you are not just passing as a visitor, but you are launching an important program. There is a time in the history of a nation where a leader emerges, and that leader has a vision, which is a vision of hope. And the people trust that leader, that vision is not one that will be short-lived. And I think that comment was eloquently made by the NUC's president, who said that this program we are launching today is a generational promise. May God bless you for introducing this initiative. Mr. President, there are few leaders who have the opportunity to reflect on their leadership, take stock, and return to make things better. And you are fortunate to be the Ghanaian president, has this opportunity, as you served as a former vice president, and had 8 years to reflect and come back to make things better. May God bless you for that. Mr. President, much has been invested in the education sector. Many policies have been implemented, and a lot of changes have been introduced. But the tertiary education sector requires some special attention. Many forget that the tertiary education sector is like the last person in a relay race that takes the baton and finishes the race. And your policy we are launching today gives testimony to that fact, that you recognize that the tertiary sector requires some important attention that will facilitate the opportunity for many brilliant but needy Ghanaians to be able to realize their dreams of tertiary education. God bless you on their behalf. I want to thank you so much for delivering on this promise. Yesterday on this campus, a lot of students went agog jubilating, and they were happy because they were receiving alerts that the monies were being paid to them. And I want to thank you, Your Excellency, because my daughter received her alert. So now you understand why I'm thanking you so much. Your Excellency, I stand on behalf of all heads of tertiary institutions to express our support for this policy and to thank you for the investment in the sector. For us, we recognize that the tertiary sector as a whole requires some important investment to grow and to do the research that is necessary to transform our society. However, your commitment to launch this program in a college of education provides a very important statement to the Ghanaian population, because this is where teachers are trained, and these are the teachers that go back to train other products in the society for the pre-tertiary level, and they come back to the tertiary institution to benefit from this policy and goes back. So that is a total approach to education, and we want to recognize that you have chosen a college of education to launch this program. Thank you so much. Your Excellency, on behalf of the leadership of the 46 colleges of education, I want to appreciate you for a number of things. One, our staff have been on strike many times asking for them to be migrated to the tertiary education system properly, and your government did it. We want to thank you so much. We want to thank you that following the migration, you have also paid their back pays, and we are very grateful for that. So now the industrial strike that has affected the growth and development of colleges of education for a long time has been dealt with, and we are grateful to you. I want to thank you also because the minister promised to complete 8 ongoing hostel projects in the colleges of education. We are grateful. Your Excellency, one of the issues that require your immediate attention for the colleges of education is the question of vehicles for principals of colleges of education. The Minister of Education has promised to help us get those vehicles. Your Excellency, it will surprise you that the principal who is speaking to you came here in a 2007 registered Nissan patrol vehicle. That vehicle is now 18 years old. I just think that it will be important for you to direct so that one vehicle will be left for the principal to drive from tomorrow. Your Excellency, that's a serious matter. Because for the principal to be driving an 18-year-old vehicle, it's not good. Your Excellency, this college where you are hosting this event will be grateful to remember you that you came here to this college to launch this important policy. We have only one thing to ask, one thing that will testify that you have been here, and that is that this college requires a multi-purpose lecture theater and auditorium complex. We will name it the Mahama No Fee Stress Block. I want to thank you, Mr. President, for making sure that this launch happened in this college. And on behalf of all the principals of colleges of education, on behalf of all the leadership of tertiary education institutions in Ghana, we want to appreciate you for choosing us. And on behalf of the students and staff of this college, we want to appreciate you for having us here. We thank you so much because this policy will definitely transform the future of our students, the future of Ghanaian children, and the future of the Ghanaian education system. Thank you so much for coming, and we appreciate you.
Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. I think that the principal must have been a salesman in his other life. And he reminds me of the statement, opportunity comes but thank you very much.
Warriors here, this is gungulum 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 gung. This is Ghana News TV. The time is 6 o'clock. Let me follow Ghana.
So send this cafe amanoni aba Africa ha. Usulem fi. Say ye fear wo pese won tono. Usulem fi. E dan ya na say japade a wani da so a wo pese oto Africa ha no. Usulem fi. Se wo send this sika ama odofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha. Usulem fi. Sanso e na se wo tie obi school fees ama no a. Usulem fi. Nyenti a make cancel lem fi ama on say utimi send this sika e fa lem fi so a e ma ne begu bank account mu. Sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu. Eno achi nso no de bia lem fi e wo daily rate a ema ohu sika dodo a wo sende a wo benya lemfi secured na wo sende sika enche na nipa a wo sende ama no ne nsa aka lemfi wo USA Canada UK Italy Germany Ireland Netherlands Spain Belgium Portugal and France what the lemfi sende sika untu ahwe bomodin na use me code NEWS news na say ene any day they can register or lemfi so a unya bonus sanso na use chen so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a ye de ma.
It's a very simple one. Is to introduce our special guest of honor and guest speaker, whose thoughts is what have gathered us today. In the run-up to the 2024 elections, I had cause somewhere to say that Judge John Mahama, his hallmark with humility, judgment, and compassion. This was before December. So today I'll choose just one of those words, compassion. Today we've gathered here, John Mahama, to the students I say, compassion personified. He's come to give meaning to his pledge and honor. And for us, what is significant is that John Mahama is re-establishing trust and confidence in the elected elites of our country and our democracy. And to our students, he is working on that leg, compassion. Mr. President, I've shared with you the story at UTS. Let me now share this vivid experience of Virtues Ache Mensah, St. Mary's Boys Senior High School, was declared Best Student in Visual Arts in the 2024 West Africa Examination Council, West Africa Best Performing Student from the Western region, APOA in the Western region. Mr. President, whilst the West Africa Exam Council was announcing how brilliant this young man was, he was accompanied by his parents, who openly acknowledged that the boy have not been able to access tertiary education because they simply don't have the financial will to do it. Principal of SDA College, I'm sure whatever pledges and promises, the man to promise and honor is before you, John Mahama. But at least in your welcome remarks, you reminded us in this room that you are a parent. So beyond the students, many parents are very grateful, Mr. President, to this initiative. And many of them are gathered in this room. Today's meeting is for Excellency John Mahama to walk the talk and to keep honor. And for me, I simply put it this way, that John Mahama is now the fountain of honor. Today, from that fountain, they will drink with are the students in our first year tertiary public institutions across Ghana. This policy also extends to persons with disability who, Mr. President, have guaranteed full fee payment. The Honorable Deputy Minister, together with the chair of the Federation for Disabled People, are working on the roadmap for the effective takeoff of the disbursement for students who are persons who are challenged. As I said, my task is an easy one, but once you have the president and the GET Fund administrator sitting closer to him, I will conclude my introduction with one remark. Mr. President, that next year, the GET Fund will double its allocation to the Student Loan Trust from 70 million to 150 million to support students who may want to access it further. Excellency John Mahama, before I invite you to the podium, even at the WAEC ceremony, I will next week on your behalf, in honor of one of your campaign promises, lay the Scholarship Authority Bill before Parliament to deal with the nepotism, cronyism that was associated with the award of scholarship. And in that bill, now I acknowledge the chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, the Honorable Nochu. In that bill, again, to the legacy, enduring legacy of President Mahama, there would be what we call the President's Scholarship for Scholarship, which will recognize awarding brilliant students in the country need areas, if it is science, mathematics, and engineering, at the President's pleasure, not nepotistic pleasure. Not nepotistic pleasure, at his pleasure. So the President's Scholarship for Scholarship will honor 10 brilliant students determined and declared by the West African Exam Council as the overall best students in the country. Then the President will then absorb them to benefit from his scholarship, and they'll have his full tenure. Let me thank Chair Clement Apak and the ministerial team that work with him, recognizing Professor George Odro, Mamle Andrew, Matilda Inusa, and Aminu, and Dr. Sajia at the Student Loan Trust for working together to make this day come true. Now I have the greatest honor and pleasure to introduce the President of the Republic of Ghana. And I said, he works with humility, compassion, and judgment. John Dramani Mahama, Mr. President, you may want to.
Thank you very much. Kindly be seated. Thank you, Honorable Minister for Education, Haruna Idrisu, for those kind words. Let me begin by acknowledging and thanking Dasibre Kweku Boateng, the third, the Omanhene of New Drabin Traditional Area, Nana Drabin Sewa, the third, the Omanhema of New Drabin Traditional Area, and your traditional chiefs who have accompanied you here. We thank you for lending your royal presence to this occasion. Thank you very much. God bless you. Members of the Council of State, Chief of Staff, Ministers of State and senior government officials, Members of Parliament, Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executives, the CEO of the Student Loan Trust and your team, regional chairmen and functionaries of the NDC, principals of colleges of education, and stakeholders in our education sector, the clergy, my cherished students, because of whom we are gathered here today, our friends from the media, the good people of Ghana. I want to make a few comments before I go into my speech. When your college was chosen as the venue for the no-fee stress policy launch, I asked what one of the pressing needs in the college was so that we could reward you for hosting the initiative. And wait, it's coming. And I was told that you are in dire need of a male hostel. And so I came, I consulted the Get Fund and everybody with the intention of pledging a male hostel. When your principal spoke, he said the priority need is a multipurpose lecture hall and auditorium. And so I consulted the Minister of Education and I said, shall we withdraw the male hostel and replace it with a multipurpose lecture hall? And the Minister of Education said, no, add the multipurpose lecture room. So allocation, luckily the Get Fund boss is here. So allocation is going to be made in their next budget for a male hostel and a multipurpose lecture hall complex and auditorium. In addition, your principal raised the issue of mobility, vehicles. The Ministry of Education has its in program already. This year they are ordering 66-seater buses for tertiary education institutions. And your college will benefit from one of them. And they're also ordering 50 vehicles for principals of colleges of education. So your principal will also benefit from one vehicle. So principal, we don't need to leave any of the vehicles we brought behind. Yours is coming. Manage with the 18-year-old for the meantime. But thank you very much, all of you. I think today is a very pleasant day to celebrate. And I must tell you that this initiative was born out of the real lives of some people that we had seen. There is a girl who received admission to the University of Development Studies. And her story was carried by the social media. I'm sure several of you would have seen it. She was sitting by her mother and they were roasting plantain. And apparently this girl had qualified for medicine in the University of Development Studies. But her mother didn't have the money to pay the academic fees for her to register. And so she had to sit by her mother to roast the plantain, hoping that they'll be able to raise enough money. We looked out for her, we found her, and found her mother. And so we took her to the university. We paid the academic fees for her. And we not only paid the academic fees for her, we asked UDS to give us her fees for the whole course. And they gave it to us. And we paid her fees until she finishes university. So that was one of the stories that moved us to put into the manifesto the no-fee stress policy. The second was a brilliant young man who had qualified to do engineering in the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Tech. And again, there was a story in the social media of him going to the farm. School had opened, he had not gone to register because his family had not yet harvested their crops to sell and be able to raise the money for him to go. So again, we had to intervene and sort out the academic fees for the young man to go to school. So we realized that these are not isolated stories. These are real stories of people. We have free compulsory universal basic education in Ghana. And then we have introduced the free SHS program. So most parents do not pay anything for the education of their children until they finish senior high school. Then suddenly they are hit with the shock of having to cough up significant amounts of money to be able to put their children through tertiary education. And so we said, at least for the first year, give the child the opportunity to enter the institution without stress and get the opportunity to register onto the student loan trust and apply for support to pay subsequent fees. So that was the thinking that went into the no-fee stress policy. And I'm very happy that we are here today to launch it. I was watching on the social media, and I saw students dancing and jumping. Some wanted to jump from upstairs. And the person who sent me the video, I said, why, what's wrong with these students? And he said, so they just got alerts for their no-fee stress money. And so all of you who haven't applied, especially in the colleges of education, some people in colleges of education think that they are not part of it. All of you in the colleges of education, in nursing training colleges, in the public, all the other public tertiary institutions, you qualify for the no-fee stress policy. And so now it gives me immense joy to join you here today in Koforidua, a city steeped in learning and leadership, to launch an initiative that speaks directly to the heart of our national aspirations: the right of every Ghanaian child to access tertiary education, regardless of family income, social background, or place of birth. Today, we launched the no-fee stress policy, a bold, equity-driven intervention designed to remove financial barriers to entry into public tertiary institutions. Beginning this academic year, the state will cover the academic-related fees of all first-year students admitted in our public universities, colleges of education, technical universities, and nursing training institutions, who in many cases would otherwise have had to forego their dreams for lack of funds. This policy is more than a budgetary item. It is a moral, constitutional, and developmental initiative. Far too many of our young people have worked hard to pass their exams and earn a place in our tertiary institutions, only to be turned away because their families cannot afford the upfront academic fees that have to be paid. Let the numbers speak for themselves. In 2022-2023 academic year, over 150,000 students were admitted to public tertiary institutions. Yet a significant number of thousands could not take up these admissions due to the inability to pay the academic-related fees. Data from the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission reveals that many more have had to defer or drop out of their programs each year for this very reason. A student in a college of education, for instance, receives a monthly allowance of 200 cedis in the 2024-25 academic year, but was expected to pay 1,362 Ghana cedis as admission fees. In nursing colleges, the fees were even higher. Receiving the same 200 cedis a month, they were required to pay 2,340 Ghana cedis as admission fees. The annual student loan of 2,550 cedis falls far short in covering university academic-related fees, which in some cases are as high as 8,000 cedis. And the tragedy is that they are required to pay these fees when they have not yet had the opportunity to register for the student loan scheme. These are not just statistics. Behind each number I mentioned is a face and a dream deferred. Tertiary education is not just about a certificate. It is the engine that powers a modern society. It is the engine that creates teachers, doctors, engineers, scientists, entrepreneurs, and public servants. It spurs innovation, it deepens civic responsibility, and fosters national identity. According to the World Bank, every additional year of tertiary education increases an individual's earning by up to 17% in developing countries. And yet, according to the 2021 Population and Housing Census of Ghana, only 18% of Ghanaians aged 18 and above have completed tertiary education. This means over 80% of our adult population lacks post-secondary qualification. In a nation that is striving to build a resilient, knowledge-driven economy, this gap is one we cannot afford to maintain. The no-fee stress policy has been designed with deliberate inclusivity and scalability. Its key components include the no academic fees policy. Under this policy, the government will cover the academic-related fees for all first-year students admitted to public tertiary institutions. Then the second of the no fee stress policy is the Student Loan Plus initiative. This is a restructured financing model that provides enhanced support for continuing students with expanded eligibility and simplified access. And as you were just informed, next year, the money allocated to the student loan scheme is going to be doubled. And so you will also expect a doubling of your student loan. Then we also have the free tertiary education for persons with disability. To ensure full inclusion and compliance with our obligations under the Disability Act, all persons with disability shall have free tertiary education from first year until they complete. And as I told you already, there will be increased student loan amounts which will reflect the real cost of tertiary education, and it will be adjusted annually for inflation. We also have diversified student funding mechanism, including targeted scholarships for underrepresented communities and disciplines that are vital to our national development. In addition, students in fee-paying programs without regular track equivalents will receive a reimbursement of up to 2,500 cedis for their academic fees. Ladies and gentlemen, this policy is complementary, it's not substitutionary. It does not replace existing allowances and loans, but it lightens the heaviest burden, that is the cost of entry, that keeps thousands of brilliant students outside the gates of institutions like this. This policy is not about welfare, it is about fairness. It is about restoring dignity to the Ghanaian student. It is about affirming that the right to education is not a privilege for only the wealthy, but it's a shared national inheritance. Education is the grand equalizer. It bridges the gap between where a child is born and what the child can become. This policy ensures that geographical location, gender, disability, or socio-economic background will no longer determine who can sit in a university lecture hall. Across the world, countries are embracing the value of publicly supported tertiary education. In Germany, public universities charge no tuition fees, not even for most international students. In Norway, Finland, and Scotland, all these countries have adopted similar models, recognizing that education is not a cost to be feared, but it is an investment to be protected. These countries have, as a result, developed highly skilled populations, reduced youth unemployment, and increased social mobility and enhanced civic engagement. Ghana must not be left behind. We must prioritize our people's intellectual capital as our greatest asset. Let me use this occasion to call upon all our stakeholders. To my students, this opportunity is yours to seize. Focus, excel, and commit yourselves to serving your nation, Ghana. To our tertiary institutions, implement this policy with transparency, compassion, and excellence, and let us make this a model of effective public delivery. To the private sector and our development partners, I invite you to co-invest in this future through endowment funds, bursary schemes, and public-private financing models that extend the reach and sustainability of this initiative. Let us work together to raise a generation of Ghanaians who are confident, skilled, and ready to build a prosperous and united nation. Mr. Chairman, as we were told, 150,000 students have so far accessed the portal. And for those of you who have not accessed the portal, you better start doing so now. Out of this, 34,500 have been validated and are awaiting payment. And out of that number, as at yesterday, 15,000 students had received their alerts for payment. This is just the beginning. And today, with our student educators, parents, and development partners, I'm pleased to declare the no-fee stress policy officially launched. Let it be known across this land that from today, no Ghanaian child will be denied entry into tertiary education simply because they cannot afford the academic fees. This is a path to a more just society. This is how to build a future where no dream is deferred and no potential is wasted. And I'm pleased to inform you that we're also working on your trainee allowances. And soon, you will start receiving alerts for your trainee allowances too. This time, we're structuring it in a way where you receive it monthly. And so, the accountant, you don't let me finish. The Accountant General's Department is going to be responsible for it. So anytime they load salaries for your fathers, your parents who are working, they will load your trainee allowances too onto your phones. In conclusion, in launching this initiative, we also fulfill our constitutional mandate under Article 38(3) of the 1992 Constitution, which enjoins the state to provide equal access to university or equivalent education to all Ghanaians. We are building a Ghana where opportunity is not inherited but created, a Ghana where education is not rationed by class or by cash, but granted by merit and upheld by the collective will of our people. And so I pray that God bless the youth of Ghana, may God bless our institutions, and may God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. I thank you.
Thank you. Wow. If you're happy, make some noise. If you're happy.
John Dramani, Mahama, ye siafwa, ye was siapoimu. Midende, a good year, a creatumesiwa. Minia.
Ajika Caleb.
Yanyako Abronuma. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Amai Pennyfo. Nananum Atsenkunya. Yes, when it dear Mukasakakra. Yes, Ramo. Ye mofra. Say a fuma. Mumfan say. Namo sene.
Monshe Ghana asase kok wumba biriu abakan ama Ghana piesie obrempon hunyafo a ode ne banku fa de enye ne de na oye ne yi fentemfrembole de hia uti ebunu na wudi abede okumani ni ampon a wudi umfafuo mu aketune His Excellency John Dramani Kwame Mahama owintim preko a Orintim preko a wuti kwotia na wudi nchiama Ghana de hye uye nimdifu a wuti kwotia wu na wudi unyansa nwen woman wo na wo so de wontumi no wode na nkasa abo ukechire empanyin kan yo wo se de onim to ne yedi ni gina kire mpon so wo unim to o eninti na Ghana mind wagina kasamprem poso to pon mo be ponda na se kroma mansan twa kuma twtwadie His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ye or rampam sechia. Mansa dasabwa photo or the siasama or mo akronto. Akwabon sasraku dense gonja desia. O mene sono kwa ebretuom na usum sisire kwa brafocha na omantam pateku wim. His Excellency Oyo benfu kukudu fu nyansafu nimdifu a ene dey Ghana man nyina bonto akobedan wo sare musei a wo che aserewa ma ebikei gonja achichidini a wo chinti wotutu a wo se wo akoraboa berema ne ntukese a opeja ne nansi obotan so ma okwan yerawo openima da etosonson ena Ghana man to santene di won kokromotisi wenim se beye wo mampani ne bosome so opeponda etosonson ena wo fro Ghana abenwa se okatechie ni mprenu so. His Excellency eyagu kensi a enke ebeka se why come back ababio wasa ababio bosumi nsian wada ne di pefe se enhoma ho ehia wo eninti na eneda kesie. His Excellency tententu 2 mia ehome ehum etutu atatai aba SDA College of Education abonten so se ubebie no stress policy a yebie anokra mpo dada na ansa na we beba no ne waye nie.
His Excellency John Mahama kwame otiana nkendro asebo ediso ampa uyokoko o mayemu o shega na fo bose se wo ba sika kwakwo otu ama ne homne so ese yensuo ene yensase no o bebre na se ampa wo de wo sie yoyo ampa se ensakraya bem ehuna bobrim se wa ma ye hyesofo a o hye sika kwakwo so ano enyanka ne asukufu nyina eje se wudi nuane akọ SH asukufu nyina mu ama ye nuanom nketo adidi amme esika fo ne ehia faja say what $2 to she ama ya wofo se bi kwa kwan so e kwa ne ma betawa oh how bi ani hu echmara say principal who do nyina da wasio esanse wotua wonu ane kan nyina ama won asa ama won sika foforo se won fan hye chiri ye kan eja ni sei nie Ghana ha kesi na ye so say wayiri nyina afio Levi, I do a hard for mouthfuls. Say, Nina to a cha. Man, not a photo to me, no. The offer no any baby. Yenya would any. Minia, so mammy.
His Excellency John Mahama, Ghana Maynina Dawasi, Abang Papa Abba, Ghana no Huda, say it so Abama say, Bayer on man penny. Some wa osie tukuyi mu a mesia ade abeya date chechwe ni no ade ba kwa mesia no ha ne se ansa na o chechwe ni bia bekwa chira ade no ogina nya ne mofra ni nim dada so no ade adan ne botaye di enu nti o mampanyini nya minim ne se aban panyimfo bebre na abeya bia akọ nanso kame aye se wan shadam fa wani anshe colleges of education enu nti enne wabahei yes sure will say what say yembo bebre yenim sa enwoma hiawo yenim sa adesia enwo nyawo enu nti ebo a wa hye SDA College of Education no yes sure sa ukọ nani aman panyimfo tnase na so o je oman Ghana ho a yes sure kai sa wa hyebo wo SDA College of Education okay SDA College of Education no enja colleges of education na aka so college bit say Methodist College of Education school yinya school bus kesia esuafo de beko STS yenim se nguma wunya afei pa ne ate asese bra awo abaso anim no na Ghana man nyina ebo wo se na obaje oso se oka obeye ampa oka obeye enti enne ne Ghana fo nyina eka ne se mo yamawamo wati awofo abreso wama esukufo enya de ewa akoma mu en omampanyini Ghana man nyina se yeda wase na yedi wie no
Otia na nkeduro bere ma John Dramani Kwame Mahama esuafo se wada wase bi mbreu Ghana ma se wada wase buru SDA College of Education Yesi mo amo mo. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Onkwaso Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Onkwaso Dr. Sajida Shariz. Onkwaso Professor Vincent Adali Mensa. Onkwaso Ghana Nkwaso Ghana Nkwaso Ghana Nkwaso Ghana Nkwaso Ghana Nkwaso.
Ya damwasi.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. If you ask me how I saw today, I will tell you that this is just unbelievable. This man performs as if he's running for election again in 2026. It is just unbelievable. Some of us are overwhelmed. As a chief, as a traditional leader, we've had a lot of students coming to us, especially those who have gained admission, asking for our support. Some have to sell cocoa farms and lend money in all sorts of ways. This is going to be a relief to some of us leaders. We thank the President. We are forever grateful to the Almighty God for bringing him at this time. As the saying goes, God does things in his best way, and God's time is the best. He has brought President John Dramani Mahama to us at the best time that Ghana needed somebody like that. We are thankful for all he's doing. I'm just surprised. It's like he's running for president again. Maybe when the time comes, the people of Ghana will give it a second thought, because 2026 looks as if it's a campaign season all over again, because he's delivering too much. We are very happy. We are happy we supported him, and we will still support him in any way we can. Thank you very much.
Follow and watch Ghana News TV.
So send this cafe amanoni aba Africa ha Usulemfi. Say ye fear wo pese wo ntono Usulemfi. Edan ya na say japade a wani da so a wo pese oto wa Africa ha no Usulemfi. Say wo send this sika ama odofo e de aboa no wo Africa ha Usulemfi. Sanso e na say wo tie obi school fees ama no a Usulemfi. Nyenti American full Lemfi ama one say utimi send this sika e fa Lemfi so a e ma ne begu bank account mu sanso e na timi begu mobile money account mu. Eno achi nso no de bia Lemfi e wo daily rate a e ma hu sika dodo a wo send a wo benya Lemfi e secured na wo send this car enche na nipa wo send ama no ne nsaka Lemfi wo USA, Canada, UK, Italy, Germany, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, Portugal and France. What the Lemfi send this car untu ahwe bomodi an dey use me code NEWS news na say any day they can register or Lemfi so a unya bonus sanso and use chance so a ye wo bonuses ahodo a ye de ma
Menu makwekwe sa sempa kania. Semenam na meti asempa na mamo amane a na ma no keka me. Anyem bia wate ANS Trading Agency Limited nka. Sa wo ka say door to door for no de na e watwa. Esanse obi ene wa wo say wo sa door to door business nim. Wo nneoma wo UK a wo de kwa Ghana. Ana say Germany a wo de kwa Ghana. 3 to 5 weeks ebekwa kodu nipa ne puna no say try. Na de mo demonstration wo say adwuma de we mu ne say wo mo bo no. E da form say boko. ANS Trading Agency Limited. E wo air freight special service. And onneoma ne ye de be fa plane. Entintempa na akwa kodu. Obetima fa sa kwa we also the nneoma free Ghana akwa UK and Germany. FAGG them which na also agina ye. I mean drop bomb. ANS Trading Agency Limited pe and a 40 footer any 20 footer container. Ye for UK ediko Ghana and Germany ediko Ghana. Omo manuoma yemre import o export o them there for you. Omo Ghana na money 0249 170 423. UK has over free 0790 802 7527. Germany 09173 771 2733. Ubenya ANS Trading Agency Limited. Our West Croydon ANS Trading Agency Limited. Quantum Brantem. Wana bebo ya baso. Maybe next time in your fill up from the bebro.